Hi everybody, hope you've had a fabulous Australia Day. I've just got home, so I've got a little bit of time now to do a little bit of videoing for you. We're talking about getting our puppies going again now that we've actually gone through all the puppy preschool stage where they learnt very basic skills, and hopefully they've been learning good manners at home, and you may have even gone on with other training so that your puppies actually are doing some really good recall work, maybe some good drop stays, sit stays, good walking on a lead, and leave it, give, all of the things that I've given you in my notes. So if not, now's a great time to start. I haven't done much with Hattie because it's all been focused on getting her ready for shows, which really hasn't come off for one reason or another, and so my obedience training has been a little bit behind, you could say. But she's a good little girl at home. She's learned all the basic manners for being a good girl at home, and if you've done that, that's absolutely the main thing, and even more so is socialisation. Alright, so I posted up my foundation skills training notes for you, and there are 9 major skills I believe are essential for good training base, and without those in place you can't solve problems. So that's why I developed it for problem behaviour training with my clients, but realised that it was just wonderful for puppies and for young dogs or anybody that's sort of new to training. So hopefully you've reread them because it's been a while since I posted them, but basically from memory we've got, first of all, the most important thing to understand is yes and no. Then we do focus and automatic focus, autofocus, which is a little bit different to just focus, where at puppy school you learnt to ask them to focus on the treat, look into your eyes and mark it. Then we've got our various little sit, stay, drop, stay, place training sort of skills, and then part of that, a really important part of that, is the release. Without the release you don't actually indicate to your dog when they can just get up and walk away. So that is essential as a part of your static position training. And then of course loose lead walking, which is a big one for a lot of people. If you haven't been doing that and you've got a dog that's pulling, then we'll work on that. So they're the first section. Then we've got recall, we've got give and leave it, and oh gosh, it's just gone out of my head for the moment, but it's further down the track at the moment. Yeah, you can see how well I've prepared for this. So what I want to start on today is basic equipment. I've got a little puppy handy. You need a dog. You need a reasonable long lead. This one is getting on for 6 or 7 foot long. Here's the puppy. She's running around having a lovely time while I chat to you. And you need, can you see that? Not my boob, my treat pouch. There we go. Inside here, I've got 2 different types of treats. I've got cheese, which is, hang on, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. There we go. I've got cheese, which is quick and easy to eat. It's soft and they don't even have to chew it. And then my jackpot treats, I've got my dried liver. I just bought liver from the butcher, fresh beef liver, and I dried it in my dehydrator, so there's no additives. The only problem with dried liver is that it does actually take a bit longer to chew, and so if you're trying to reward really quickly, stuff that's sort of crunchy and sharp and hard that needs to be chewed up takes a bit longer. So that's why I use that for jackpot type situations where she's really succeeded in something and can just have a little bit of a chill. Oh, she's I've got to show you this. Oh no, I can't. She's doing zoomies. All right, so what I'll do is just a quick explanation before each one, and then we'll get into it. So the first one is yes and no. Really, that just involves your psychological connection with a reinforcer that's positive. We are positive trainers, and you should see these zoomies. Oh, she's nuts. We really want to be 100% positive. That's not realistic. Sometimes we need to be 99% positive and 1% negative, which basically means every now and again you might need to say no to your dog. People who are 100% positive are unrealistic. You always need to have a no in place, because the dog might be about to run out the gate onto a busy road, or it might be about to jump up on granny, or lick a toddler's ice cream on the street, or go for a dead bird on the beach, or a snake in the yard. You know, you've got to have... She's still going. You've got to have a no in your toolbox. If you don't have a no, which stops the dog in its tracks really quickly and is a safety mechanism, then it's not safe. And it's not very practical as a trainer. So don't be scared of no, but just try to use it as little as possible. What we want to use is yes. We want to say yes when they're getting something right, not just no when they're getting something wrong, which is how we used to train. Very punitive sort of history of training. So yes when they don't jump up on the counter, not no when they do. You've got to catch them before they jump on the bench to try and steal that defrosting piece of steak. What you want to do, if you are allowing your dog into the kitchen, which by the way I don't, that's the one no-go zone in my home, no dogs in the kitchen, safety and manners. So if you do and your dog's jumping on your bench, what you need to do is actually catch them before they jump up and say, yes, good dog, and then distract them and take them out of the kitchen and keep them busy with something. Not wait until they jump on the counter and then you got to say, get down or whatever. That's the difference between being a good trainer, who can actually predict things, and a bad trainer or a distracted trainer and not be able to see what's about to happen. So yes and no is really important, but yes, 100,000 times more a day than no. What we want to do is capture every moment that the dog's doing what you do want them to repeat, rather than wait until they do something you don't want them to repeat. And if you can catch them and give them something to do that you can reward them, say yes and reward them for, then that's brilliant. So yes is our conditioned reinforcer. I've talked about that on other videos in my Spark group, and I think possibly in this group, where we use our yes as a marker for the exact moment they get something right. We pair it with food, so that instead of food being a reinforcer that's not conditioned, it's automatic, they love food, most dogs, that yes paired with food becomes a conditioned reinforcer, so that we can mark exactly the moment, the split second, if our timing's right, that the dog gets something right, and then follow up with a treat. You don't give the treat at the same time as you say yes. You say yes, and then you fish into your pouch or onto the bench and get your treat out. All right, so that's yes and no. I'll just demonstrate a few things as we just walk around with Hattie and see if I can explain that a little bit better. Catch you shortly. Hello everybody. We're here to do our first demonstration of our first foundation skill. I've already shown you on other videos how to pair the word yes or a clicker with food to create that feeling of excitement and anticipation. The idea is that your yes and your clicker marks the exact moment that she does something right. So before we say yes or press a clicker, we need to make it mean something. So we basically pair it just by saying yes and giving her a treat. I'll just move back so you can see Hattie. So I just say yes, give her a treat. That was lucky that happened right when she sat. Yes, give her a treat. Yes. She's gone off after a butterfly. I was a bit slow. Let's try that again. Bad trainer. Come here, Hattie. Yes. She doesn't have to be sitting. She can be doing anything for this. Yes. And I say the word and then I give her the treat. It's not yes, both at once. It's yes. And when I do this often enough, she'll start to whip her head around when she hears me say yes. Bit like that, which means it's starting to mean something. Yes. So that's why it's sometimes good to do it when she's not actually looking. Yes. There we go, nice big piece then. So you saw her whip her head around because it actually meant something to her when I said yes, and she knew something exciting was to follow. So the next step is to use that when she gets something right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk up and down the drive, and I'm going to introduce the next exercise of focus. And when she automatically looks at me and autofocus, I'm going to say yes and give her a treat. But that's actually lesson 2. So for this one, we want to do this every day, 3 times a day or 5 times a day, just for a few minutes, an ad break, where she's with us and not necessarily doing anything to deserve it, but just to pair the word or the clicker with something delicious to follow. And that then conditions the yes or the clicker, and it becomes your conditioned reinforcer. And again, the purpose of that is to mark the exact moment when she does something we want. All right, so I'll demonstrate the focus next video.